Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
We've done it before. Again. We can do it again.
And we must do it again.
Even so now we have the resources in terms of natural resources. Then because of the Cold War, there's so many things we couldn't push on. But now everything is open. We can do it.
We must.
And the most important resource we have is the human resource. We can do it. I believe we can do it. Nobody can tell me we can't do it. If we are able to do away with the politics and everything and stick to a plan, we can do it.
And I'm glad you thought about if you are able to do it with the politics. Let me start from there.
Sure.
You know, I remember some time ago, things when the MPP began, things were the first 4 years pretty much, you know, and then the next 4 years things were starting to look rough and not as ideal as we had hoped. And then the language became, we know it's not all that good, but it is better than the alternative. I don't know whether you ever heard that. It is better than the alternative. So today, we are under the then alternative. What's your view? So far, you say we can do it, we should move on. So far, the alternative is here. I want your views before we start.
So you're talking about the new government in place?
Yeah.
Well, for me, I felt that with the new government in place, the first thing that we would look at is the National Development Plan. For everything you do in life, you need a plan. What is the plan? The plan that everybody would tie into. We have manifestos as plans. But manifestos are for a certain duration. We've seen manifestos working. Now new government comes, is catapulted, and you bring in. And for me, manifestos in this Fourth Republic have caused financial loss to the state. Because you get projects being done, and then the next government comes, they don't finish it, bring their own. That is all money down the drain, money we need. So far as I can tell, is how many months of this government? 10 months, 11 months.
10, 11-ish,
I don't think it would be fair to give a score out of 10. But it would be fair to say the leading they're leading us is good. As to whether it can be sustained is where the challenge is.
I think that is everybody's fear.
Yes.
I think at some point people are like, oh no, this is too good to be true.
Yes. But it's not too good to be true for some of us.
No, we have seen better.
We've seen better.
But we're talking about the current crop of people that are like, oh no. It can't happen.
Yes, it can happen.
This is too good to be true.
See,
so in your view, is it too good to be true?
No.
Can it be sustained?
No. It isn't. It shouldn't be too good to be true because we need to have the confidence in ourselves that we can do it. And for me, that is what is lacking in the Ghanaian. The fact that this seems impossible, but it's possible to do. Look, I keep telling people, have we not gone to the moon? Do you think it's easy to go to the moon? But we've gone to the moon. And if we've been able to go to the moon, why can't we get our country where it's supposed to be? We have to be able to. First of all, we've got to stop the capital flight. And one thing this IMF thing has done, it has halted spending. Now, the key is, when we are no more in IMF, can we sustain it? Or are we going to go back to the capital flight of things? And it looks as if Ghanaians too are spoiled to some degree. We
feel entitled for the most part.
And that is the challenge. Your gate man will even feel entitled. Some ordinary man walking on the street feels entitled. But if you feel entitled, what are you contributing to that entitlement? And that is missing in the Ghanaian. Because what we saw at the time, yes, you're entitled. Entitled to know that your rubbish truck will come and pick your rubbish at a particular time. Your bus would be at the bus stop at a time which you can pick. Your taxi would not try and fleece you because they look at you and feel you have money. Things were orderly done.
So Kwame, when did this start changing? You're talking about back in the day there are many people who are watching you now, listening to you say, but what is he talking about? Those days are so far gone. What triggered the departure from the ways that you're talking about? What triggered it? And what would trigger our journey back to those days? Will we ever get back to those days?
For me, what triggered the beginning of this downward trend was the 1966 coup.
The 1966 coup?
Yes. We are still living the challenges of that coup. Look, that time, most people were in employment. It's like something untoward happening to you that you don't understand. A lot of people did not understand what was happening because of where they were coming from. And we weren't able to transcend that good bit to the others growing up. And so we began to take things anyhow. We began to not abide to laws. We did not understand what it meant by, not
and you
dropping.
say all of that was caused by the 1966 coup?
And that was the start.
That was the
and
start.
then we had other coups coming in.
Yeah.
When it now got to a stage where we were now coming back to democracy, the rot had already set in, and it was a gradual seepage.
So now, okay, I'll go back to that 66 coup issue. But you're saying we started to somewhat build a democracy.
Yes.
It wasn't that strengthened.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so now
Yes.
that foundation is on that weak democracy.
Yes, on that weak democracy. And then the thing that even killed it was the politicization. You see, if it so happened we had more than one political party, that would have spread. We have two. And if you look at Ghana, we've always had two. But in the early days, the two spoke together, irrespective of their differences. Because I remember times when Aram Ponsa would come to my father and sit with him.
Yes, so his father was the late Jantuah.
Yes.
He was very active in the CPP.
Yes, he was Nkrumah's Minister for Agriculture.
Minister of Agriculture,
Yes.
okay. I wanted to set the framework
Yes.
because when you say Aram Ponsa used to come to your
Yes.
house, there are many who are saying, but whose house anyway? Who's Aram Ponsa?
Yeah, well, Aram Ponsa was one of the Apino Soap, Apiaminka.
Yeah.
All of those guys were UP tradition MPP. And I remember they would come to the house and sit with the old man and discuss Ghana business of different political parties. Maxwell Owusu was one of them. Different political parties, but they spoke. Not only in conclave, but they spoke for others to see, which you don't see today. And that has divided the populace. So, there was no union. And that is what I hope President Mahama, being the president who, one, he took over from...
Anando?
No. He took over from Atamils.
Mills.
Was.
Okay.
He then became a president through elections. He went into opposition, the only president who's been into opposition, and he's come back. I believe the onus is on him to bring that kind of unity that will build the nation. I'm looking for that from him. Whether he can do it in 4 years, I don't know. But if that process is started, it would help. It will help. Because we need to build this nation. We have everything. Name it, we have it. Ghana is #1 in Africa, not for gold exports, so gold reserves. #1. #6 in the world for gold reserves. When my father was Secretary for Local Government PNDC, he showed me the map, and he only showed me the map because he wanted to tell me why the British called Ghana Gold Coast. Entire stretch is covered in gold. Alluvial, top, bottom is covered in gold. So why should gold be an unfortunate commodity for us when it could be a positive commodity for us to make money? And at least if we go by what the new gold board has put in place, and you look at how much they say we've made. And yesterday I was watching Arise. It's a Nigerian channel, and they were showing some of the benefits African countries have made. And Ghana, they put $4.2 billion in, not gold though, tourism. So we can do it. We just have to make sure that the right thing is done and laws are obeyed and executed. That is one of the major challenges we have.
This is a conversational. The country is lawless. We don't obey the laws. We have the laws though.
Yes, we do.
You're a lawyer.
Yes, we do.
There's no law.
Yes, we do.
So when it comes to the implementation, we are totally lacking.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm saying these things that you're saying, that's what we keep complaining about.
Yes.
We don't implement laws. We don't. So what is preventing us from doing it? And when, in your estimation, when will we actually go back to law and order?
We can implement laws if we have policemen who understand the law. Let me give you an example. A very simple example. Last Friday, I was driving home from work on the Fiesta Royal Road. I got there and there were a row of cars because of the police checkpoint. In front of me was a 4x4. In the queue, fine. The next thing I saw, switched on his hazard, come out of the queue, sped, got to the police checkpoint, didn't even stop, just drove off. So when I got to the police checkpoint, I asked the policeman, didn't you see that vehicle? Why didn't you stop it? You know what he said to me? In a police uniform. Chief, So I asked him, laws no I didn't want to mean no. So I said, who wants a war banner? And Casojina cannon no Ginano. What the Bokra one fumble? So the police themselves do not understand what it means by executing the laws they have. Some do, but do they?
And those who do too are also trapped in this traditional so they are above the law. So that hinders them from doing what they're supposed to do.
Nobody's above the law.
Exactly. When does a nation get to that understanding, say, nobody's above the law?
At this material moment, we have to go back to the classroom. Because to be able to change our mindset is going to be difficult. Let's go back to the classroom. Look, 2000, 2000, when we changed from 1999 to 2000, children were born. How old are they today? Aren't they 25 years? Aren't they adults? So let's go back to the classroom. And let's start teaching those things in the classroom. And perhaps when we teach those things in the class, they would grow with it. We grew with a certain mindset. So there are certain things we can't do.
I remember courtesy for boys and girls that we had to study.
If somebody comes to you, wants a contract and puts some money here, will you take it? But some are so used to that kind of thing that is very difficult to stop.
Thing
yes,
now.
Yes, but it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
And I understand that
because
perfectly.
they are good practices. They are good practices. And unfortunately, I'm going to say this, I'm sure people will kick me for it. The women in the country, to some women, do not help. Why? Because theirs is only money. And theirs is to get money from men. And I keep telling women that, look, every man likes a woman who can stand on her own 2 feet. They'll tell you we don't have the money. I said, who has the money to start anything? But try, educate yourself. There are some who have done it. I don't want to mention names. There are some who came from nowhere, but have done it now. I know some who are even lawyers today and came from nowhere. So it is possible to do.
And I think with the narrative is changing. These days, well, I'm sure there will always be exceptions, but these days you find more and more women who want to be on their own, or you're not feeling that. I think that era of me, I'm a woman, I can't do everything, depends on the man.
I'll be so happy, but I still see a lot of young women. And maybe we've created a certain system that makes it difficult for women to progress. And if we have, let's look at that system and see how best we can tweak that system. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, my father called me, 15. Kwame, what's this man calling me for? I got downstairs, go to the kitchen. Then what should I go to the kitchen and do? Go and learn how to cook. Go and learn how to cook. It will help you one day. I learned how to cook, and when I now got to London on my own because I knew how to cook, I didn't depend on anybody. There are certain things in the system that we need to sit back, look at, and say, we need to change this and change it collectively.
But will that happen?
Collectively.
Sometimes I think that some of the things that we really want are dreams. These are things that we hope will happen. But when you look at the bottom line,
But things are made out of dreams.
Yeah.
Things are made.
It's dreams you can implement.
When
though.
we were in primary school, did you ever see yourself as a chachu person with this kind of business?
No.
But you probably got to a certain stage and you dreamed about it. And
Because
said,
this was
is
so
some-
bad.
Yes.
Somebody had to get up and make noise.
Exactly. Exactly. And I keep telling people, you don't need money to do business. You need an idea to put in a piece of paper and go to somebody with money and look at your idea and say, this is good, and invest in it. And people would always invest in things that are good.
Ghana
That are
here?
good. Yes. Yes. At the present moment, a young lady has devised a certain education material which you find in Europe, but this is based on Ghanaian heritage, and all her characters are Ghanaian. And when you see what she's done and how she is promoting it, you'd only put money in. And she doesn't need 1 billion CDs. She doesn't need 2 million CDs. 500,000 will set her off. And if she's serious enough, from one point to the other, she will build it. Within the next 5 years, she'll be somebody. We shouldn't be scared of taking risks. Because when you take a risk, you might fail. But remember, that risk you've taken will teach you. When you fail, it's teaching you. A lot of people feel when they fail, that's no. Learn from it and move on. It's possible. Very, very possible.
No, I agree with everything you're saying. I will not for 1 second doubt anything you're saying. You know, I mean, I was once with what do we call that thing? Springboard.
Yes.
We went to
yes, I
almost-
remember. I
It's
remember.
okay.
Yes, I remember.
Giving people the hope,
Yes.
inspiring
Yes,
them,
yes.
and we're telling them what you're telling me
But
now.
it has to be collective
Exactly.
It has to be collective.
And also,
and continuous.
and also, we are doing it within the framework that is so difficult for them that they are justified when they hit that block and they
Yes.
go,
Yes.
We keep telling them to push and
Yes,
push and push and
keep
push.
pushing.
You know,
because you never
but-
know. The last push might be what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You never know. But maybe the other thing we should also look at is our education system. And we should sit down and ask ourselves, is the education system helping our children and those in it progress? Or is it still one way? Because you need an education system that is tied to jobs at the end. You need an education system. So I keep asking people, how many times have you heard a lawyer say to you that, "Mekwa Abrucha Kope Juma"? The doctors do it. The engineers do it. The professions do it. How many times have you had a lawyer do that? That should tell you something. That should tell you something. That if you put your ear to the ground, there are things you can do in this country and succeed. I don't want to believe that this country is so useless nobody can succeed. I don't want to believe that. I believe that you can succeed.
Neither do I.
You can succeed in this country.
Yes.
No matter how difficult it is,
See,
you can
no,
succeed.
No, these things are great and they are very inspirational. But Kwame, the bottom line is, you know, where people actually have to confront the daily things.
Yes.
I'm in
Yes.
Ghana now.
Yes.
I was in the States for
Yes.
over 20 years.
Yes.
I'm back now.
Yes.
I have business here.
Yes.
And I tell you,
Yes.
if I want to list the difficulty,
Yes.
sometimes it seems as if the system is
Yes.
just designed to frustrate
Yes,
you.
yes, yes.
You know,
which is
so
true.
I'm
which
saying
is
that
true.
the bigger conversation
It's not. It does not seems. It is.
It is designed.
It is.
It's so
It is.
so Kwame.
Because there are some people who would
Yeah.
prefer to have the interest on their own and not
Yeah.
spread it down.
Yeah.
And we should break it.
Thank you. So Kwame, that's my point. Where at what point do we start operating to change that system as a whole? You know, because so long as you and I are talking, we're giving the youth hope and we're backing them and everything, they are growing up in a system that is also constantly
Yes.
not giving them
We
the
need.
avenues
We
to grow.
need to be able to sit down. I would want a situation where a leader would say to himself, like Kwame Nkrumah did. Kwame Nkrumah did. Kwame Nkrumah took the facets of every part of the economic sector and worked through it. What did he say? Work and happiness. It's a psychological thing. But he made sure that that work and happiness was true, because quite a lot of people were in employment. How do you create new jobs for people? So somebody comes to you right now and the person is looking for work. Do you say, I don't have any work for you? Or do you sit the person down and try and assess, so what are your capabilities? What can you really do? You sometimes find that they tell you your capabilities and you can tell them, look, this is not what is good for you. Perhaps look here, look here, look here, look here. It gives them a better understanding.
No, I agree with you 100%. But in an ideal situation, that is what has happened. You can go to an interview in the US or the UK, where the guy who is interviewing you will start advising you that based on your CV and everything, look here, there. It doesn't happen here.
But why shouldn't it? Why shouldn't it? Career development should happen in the schools.
Because it doesn't happen.
Why?
That is the question.
Why?
That is the question.
Why?
My question is, how do we start changing that to make career development doesn't happen in schools?
It comes with
because the education system is just that go be a lawyer or engineer,
and
blah
that
blah
is where it starts
blah.
from. And that's where it starts from. How do we look at the system and change the system such that everybody benefits?
That's the question I'm asking. How do we do it?
Yes, but
how do we do it?
Depending on who you put in a certain position, for that person to understand. So the Minister of Education should understand the system that the people are dealing with and understand what the people are going through. Schools should understand what the people are going through and try and system and
while
try
I
and
agree
change
with
it.
everything you're saying, the sad thing is this. Most of the people that are even qualified to be in that ministry or whatever have also come out with that same old colonial thinking and upbringing, so they won't do anything better.
It is not even colonial thinking. It's a question of party for here, Jumanti, Fanuko.
Thank you.
That person might not have the capability of sharing her.
Thank you.
But they'll put the person there, and the person doesn't understand what they want to do. It becomes a kingpin in there, and because of their deficiency, they don't want to allow anybody who knows it to get in there. It stagnates everything.
Yeah.
And these are some of the things we need to look at as a nation.
Yeah.
We need to. And it has to, and I keep saying, it has to be done collectively. Not with one political party, but with everybody.
Let me go a little back, because earlier on you started talking about at some point when we're growing, the partisan divisions were not that tight.
Yes.
And you talk about how Aaron Ponsa from the UP tradition will come and visit your father who's from the CPP tradition. Aren't those like the exception to the rule? Because the real rule was that the UP, Yatia from the CPP. There were two really separate parties.
Yes, but
they didn't get along.
But they worked together.
They worked together. No, what we had, I think, Nkrumah was so strong and he bulldozed and made sure that everything was working as a nation.
Behind the scenes.
But when you're looking at the one-on-one,
behind the scenes. Have you seen the picture of Nkrumah speaking with Buzia?
That's a picture.
That's
a picture. So Buzia was the same man that went to. Let me finish you. Was the same man that was testifying before U.S. Congressional. He said, don't allow Kwame to build the Akosmo Dam. He will turn it into communism. But they'll take a picture. That is a picture.
So they'll take a picture. Do you think if they didn't speak, they would even stand next to each other?
There's something called photo op.
Okay.
Do you think that right now, who can I, if you get some strict person who is dying the wool MPP, who is like, lives and breathes MPP, and a guy in the wool NDC lives and breathes NDC, they can't take a picture. Picture there, then.
Okay, but
it's not a picture. It's beyond the picture.
But they speak together. Look.
I know speaking that can speak for.
Listen, I've been
a photo op.
I've been to gatherings.
Okay.
Where they've been MPP, NDC, and the way their body language is, you can see that they are pals.
I think. Maybe that, but on a different level.
No,
I think the
people should see that it is happening. Because the people don't see it openly. They think it doesn't happen, that they are always at each other's necks, but it isn't so.
No, I think here's how I see it. They are not always at each other's neck, but for the benefit in their mentality, for the grassroots.
But it's wrong.
They must
but
pretend.
That is wrong.
Yes.
That is wrong.
That is the problem.
That is why we are talking about it now.
That is the problem.
Yes, it is wrong. They should see that for nothing at all, there are certain things they can work together on.
For example, finally, let's be very practical. Now Mahama has come, changes look like they're happening, but we are going back to the same politics where you can have a whole parliament sit down and say, I heard one MP recently saying that the recent budget is shallow and empty.
Members of the press, we can therefore, in conclusion, describe the 2026 budget, the Galamsey budget, as growthless, jobless, and minimalist budget.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
But that's what I'm talking
But
about.
this is what
Maybe behind you go and meet the auto forces and they can have lunch and have food together. But that doesn't matter.
This is where I'm saying it has to be
the parliament
collective.
that they were in that was being televised, that's how I came across that there's nonsense budget. What do we do with it? That's what I'm talking about.
But you know something.
I'll let you talk in a second. What I want to see is that regardless, praise in front of the TV, they say, okay, things are working well. May MPP ni. But it looks like Mahama, for now, seems to be on the right track.
Yeah.
Let's support him.
Yeah.
That will never happen.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, if you're MPP there, whatever he does, you must condemn.
Yeah.
And vice versa, by the way.
It's wrong.
Which is wrong.
It's wrong.
So I'm saying the reality is the wrong way we are doing it. But you seem to have...
But don't you think the people see it?
The people,
don't you think the people see it now?
They are beginning to see it.
The people have changed though from 2000 to now. The people see into a lot of things politicians do nowadays.
I think you're right.
And if you take the people for granted, you are causing a challenge for your own self as a politician. The people can see through things. They can. And going forward, they are not going to wait for anybody to come and say nout to them. They will take charge. They will take charge.
I'm hoping so. I am really hoping so. And there are indications that there's consciousness growing slowly. Slowly.
That consciousness was there in the early days. Right now, it went somewhere. It seems to be coming back. Look, the election should tell you. The elections we just had should tell you that you cannot take the people for granted. No matter what you think you said you did or you didn't do, you cannot take the people for granted. And the politicians should be very wary that if we mess about, even the current government. Look, Mahama has a plan that he's executing. If he's not careful, the people he's taking around him, if they don't look into that plan and do something ultra vires to that plan, he will miss out. Because remember, he can't do it on his own. He needs people to do it with. Let's hope that a small minority will want to do things for themselves, and the majority would want to give the country 80% and take 20%. Look, in every country, you cannot tell me that it doesn't happen. It's just the reverse, that we tend to give the country the short side of the straw. So instead of giving the country 70%, we rather give politicians or whoever 70% and give the country 30%. It can't work that way. We've got to be able to say the country needs the 70%, 80% for everybody to benefit. Everybody to benefit. And to do things that would help the country build. So, in the past, we've had floods. We continue to have floods. Question should be asked, why? First point of call, our drainage. What kind of drainage system do we have? We want an AMA who will come and say that drainage system has to change. We want to bring bigger drainage systems in. And we don't want an opposition to say, they want to bring it in because one person disca. And they've got to be clear with us how much it will cost to do. And be open and transparent about it so that nobody feels that they're trying to make money. A typical example is of the debate that is going on with the military in terms of the military equipment that is required. We have realized in the past, from what they're saying now, that we have done naught for the military. That if today in Ghana somebody attacks us, we are open for that. Because we don't have the wherewithal to do what? To fight back. But if it was a gradual process where every government came in and made sure they bought the right equipment with no corruption in there, even if there's corruption in there, very minimal, because there are people who are greedy and want a certain bit.
Sadly, you're saying if there's corruption there, very minimal. But the corruption is not minimal.
You cannot. Yes,
it's maximize what you can take out.
Yes, but that is wrong. And for me,
so for me,
that is stealing.
For me, that is stealing.
Yes.
For me, the way to attack that is with strong laws and, if you will, should I say vicious?
Kweku.
But even now, look at all this talk about the people and the loot and and we have to treat it because it's a democracy and we have to do things about the law and the books and everything. We're a lawyer. One of them, you know, you will be the same ones who will come and attack us saying, but we are not respecting the constitution and those things. So I'm saying the reality on the ground is that we have to follow a certain path, democracy, that we have chosen. And in the midst of that, the looting is actually engulfing us.
It is one thing choosing democracy and another thing understanding what democracy is.
Do we understand it?
We don't.
Exactly.
We don't.
And we are doing it. So we are suffering from doing something we don't understand.
We are using something we don't understand to amass wealth for ourselves, and that is wrong.
I think we're speaking the same language.
It's very wrong. But the thing is that we all need as a country to understand if we don't do the right things, this country will gradually die. Gradually die. Typical example is Galamsey. I ask myself, and I've been asking, when I'm on the media, I'm asking my fellow panelists, when was the last time Ghana went to war? We've never been to war. We have equipment in the barracks, don't we? What is it doing in the barracks? We are shining it. Move the security forces into the Galamsey areas with all our equipment and everything. Move in there, full force, for them to see we ain't joking. Ban the imports of excavators. Ban it. Because the quantum of excavators we have in the country today, they can do any construction work we want. Ban it. I have said, shoot to kill. Shoot a little bit of people. And first of all, protect the water bodies. Look, I heard a disturbing news today in Cape Coast, where in a certain part of Cape Coast, I've forgotten the name of the place, the Ayensu River, which flows from the eastern region, has been diverted and has been polluted and has dried up. That Ayensu River flows right into central region. It has stopped flowing. And even if there's water, it is so polluted that the people in the area, Konyako, the people in that area are having to buy borehole water. And those tricycle drivers are now making big money out of it because you need to hire them to bring the water to your area. Now, it has started in the central region. Are you trying to tell me that it not start in other regions? Very soon, the only fresh water we would have in Ghana is the Volta Lake. Very soon. The only fresh water we'll have in Ghana is the Volta Lake. Does this not need a collective effort by everybody? Should we not at this point, MPP, NDC, CPP, PNC, chiefs, all of us sit around the table and say, this canker has to stop? With a leader who says, I don't care whether you're MPP or NDC, come, let's sit. Because look, how many presidents do we have still in existence? President Kufuor, he has experience of Galamsey. President Kufuor has experience of Galamsey. President Mahama has experience of Galamsey. Otumfuo has experience of Galamsey. The Chebi chief has experience of Galamsey. The Yana has experience of Galamsey. Are you trying to tell me, if you are able to put these leaders together for them to map out a plan, which every political party will follow that plan, you won't be able to tackle it? It's because we have politicians in there. Have we caught any fundraiser of Galamsey? Have we? In this Fourth Republic? Have we? People who fund Galamsey, have we arrested any? No. So it has to be done collectively. And doing it collectively, the people say, hey, and this only MPP for Kaso. Hey, only way Kaso. And then we now tackle the 2 million people who are trying to poison 33 million people. And do it strategically and good. Are we doing it? No. Because
and why not?
Because there's personal interest. There's personal interest. Personal interest. Because you should ask the question, how much does it take for a parliamentarian to stand for parliament? It takes some, what, 4 million, 5 million dollars or something like that. They say the president, it takes 200 million. Who earns 200 million in this country apart from the private sector? Will the private sector put 2 million in to vote a president in power? Perhaps, but very rarely. So where is the money coming from? Should we not audit it? Should we not ask the question that KSM, you are standing for Asqua. Where are you getting your money from? And that responsibility is on the Electoral Commission to do. We've got to be able to find how people use funds for things in this country. We've got to. We've got to. Otherwise, we are just chasing our tail.
No, I like that we've got to part. That we've got to. There's so many things, Kwame, that we've got to do that we are not doing.
It has to start from somewhere.
And that we won't do.
Somebody has to put it in motion. And I think it's the leader of the country that needs to put it in motion. Especially when the leader doesn't have a second or third term to come. Go all out. Be brutal with anybody who gets in the way. Because what are you doing? You said you're resetting. You need to reset the country. You need to be able, after your term, sit back in your house with a cup of tea and say, I did a good job.
And I'm so much for that is unbelievable. My question is this. That same leader who used that brute force, as you said, we must be brutal.
Yes.
I'm sure your own colleagues in the bar will now raise all kinds of constitutional issues.
Let them raise it.
Let them raise it.
Yes. Let them raise it. Let them raise it.
Okay.
Because
yes.
listen, what we've tried in the past hasn't worked.
It hasn't.
And the country is going down the drain.
And we
should we sit for the country to go down the drain because of lawyers? No. No, I don't believe that. I do not believe that. So far as it's been done and done properly, I don't believe it. We can't. Because I'm a lawyer, I can't. No. Little bit of, what is Trump doing? What is Trump doing? He will knock you small, and then when he sees this thing, you come back, and you see that things are working. Things have to work. Yeah, Brett. Things have to work.
And I so agree with you. But at the same time, maybe I'm wrong. I'm hearing that this is correct. But this is the theory of what we believe and what we want. I want to see the action. I want to see the Ghana bar get up and say, no, go ahead. I want to, sometimes for me, one of the greatest stumbling blocks to what we have now as a nation that is confronting what we are confronting now is the constitutionalism and the rule of law. Am I going to say, no, get rid of the rule of law, I'm not saying that either. But I'm looking for the blend that say, we have a constitution, we have a rule of law, but we are in a crisis.
So you see?
So we have to get some emergency, bulldozing,
Yes, but you see?
Yes, I'm listening.
You see, the Constitutional Review Committee has done their review. At this material moment, the people of Ghana need to have a look at the work they have done and see where that balance could be brought in. Once that balance is there, let's move it. Because we are at risk at this present moment.
Very much so.
At risk of tilting this country into a much bigger quandary that we might not be able to come back on. Look, there are 3 commodities that can look after Ghana: gold, oil, and cocoa. Where are they now? What are we doing with them now? What is the gold price? What's the cocoa price? What's the oil price? And with these 3, if we concentrate on adding value to it, it even gives us more money. All the other natural resources is what? Is jala. It's a top up. We need to be able to look at that. And right now we're doing the constitutional review. Time time it towards some of these things. Time it towards it. Because, yes, the Constitution is such that it's the only law in the land. However, there should be clauses in the Constitution that give us ways to change things and change things drastically. Change, because people go, the Constitution says this, the Constitution says that, the Constitution says that, nay, say.
I say.
Nay, say. What do you find to say, nay, say?
Nay, say.
Nay, say. Look at our what do you call the system, our health system. Can it take care of us?
No.
Is it because of Constitution? Is it because of Constitution? Do you know how many people are dying because of ineffective health we have in this country? Is it because of Constitution? No. No. Yeah, I'm a lawyer though, but there are certain things I wouldn't mind. Look, for me, and people say, but Kwame, you're a lawyer, why do you say those things? Shoot to kill. If you want shoot to kill, shoot to maim. Because they have guns and they are shooting people. Look, the EPA boss, she could have been dead by now, couldn't he? Of what happened to her. She could have been dead. And you're trying to tell me that they are prepared to shoot somebody and I should leave them? Isn't it provocation? Is it not? So if I can do away with you for you to stop a canker you're doing, I should just sit because of Constitution? No.
Yeah. No. Which is, I'm with you 100%. Which is what is happening now. It is because of not just the Constitution per se, but it has strengthened the hand of those who are illegal to do what they want to do.
Yes. And you see, I keep saying, when you look at the sub-region and all the things going on in the sub-region, terrorism and all that kind of stuff, all those people doing that, they won't attack Ghana. But you know what they will do? They'll use Ghana as a base to make money to buy the things they want to buy through Galamsey. Have we not caught foreigners doing Galamsey in this country from West Africa? We have caught them. So what are we doing about it? And the fear is that if we then try and stop them with an army that doesn't have the wherewithal to stop them, they would then say, hey, is that what you're trying to do? Okay, we will show you, and start cartels within ourselves. It happened in South America, the drug cartels. And then you then find that different communities have cartel chiefs and all that. And when they try and go to other communities, from East region to West region, they are fighting. Then the people are caught in between. Some years back, didn't we talk about water being extinct in Ghana? Isn't it happening? So we need a leader who can say, yes, we have the Constitution. It goes to Parliament. And it has to be done collectively, especially with the
I like how you keep hammering on the collective.
Yes,
because that is the problem. That exactly is the problem. I don't see what prevents us, but we don't seem to be able to do things collectively
because we don't understand the politics.
No,
to us. If no.
Yeah.
You belong to a certain political party because you believe in the ideology. Anyway, ideology is dead in Ghanaian politics, but you believe in an ideology. And you feel that ideology would be able to move the country forward. If that ideology isn't working, you should be brave enough to say, this isn't working, this is working. Let's see how this would be.
And I hope things will change, Chinya, as you say, because you're saying you should be able to. If it's not working, you should be able to.
I don't hope. It should change.
Yeah,
it's not a hope for me. It should change.
But what will make it change?
The people understanding what it would take to change certain things that are wrong.
It's the very people who do not understand.
Well, that mindset has to change.
Who will change that mindset?
Leadership.
Thank you.
Leadership.
Thank you.
Otumfuo is a leader. You are a leader. The president is a leader. Those who have the wherewithal to sit on, mediums like this should be able to change it. And those who can put the action in, put the action in. Look, for me, I know a lot of people listen to me.
How long have you been talking?
25 years.
25?
Yes. When the presidents meet me, Kwame, the other thing you said, I'm listening. Oh, the other thing you said, I'm listening.
Yeah.
They listen.
Yeah.
The action.
Yeah.
Let's see the action.
Yeah.
And it's a gradual process. There are young people who watched me when they were children and are now adults who come to me and say, Mr. Jantuah, we've been listening to you, and I think some of the things you said in the past has helped me. And we should be able to do it. I don't see why we can't do it.
We are doing it. That's the thing.
Are we
We
doing
are doing it.
Are we doing
But
it? Are we doing
it
it
looks like we
effective
can't
enough?
do it because the impact that we are hoping it will generate isn't there.
Gradual impact. I don't understand why, at this material moment in time, we are still exporting cocoa beans. I don't understand it. Cocoa beans make money, but adding value to cocoa culture makes more
But
money.
Kwame, do you know how many people have believed what you are saying, and for how long?
A lot of
we have been
people-
saying
a lot
that,
of people
and
believe-
the issue is that we just say it. They say what you call. They say what's the word that somebody used? They said NATO. We are like in the NATO alliance. No action, talk only. That's a problem. NATO.
So put-
Ghana leaders.
so-
Me and you sitting here. It's no action, talk only. We talk.
So let me give an example.
So when we will translate the talk,
Let me
when
give-
we move from conversation to demonstration.
Let me give an example.
I'm listening.
When President Akufo-Addo came and said, was it one district, one factory? The one district, one factory concept.
Everybody is going to be involved in the movement forward of our country. We're not leaving any group of people behind. Every district,
Fantastic. Wasn't it rubbished?
Who rubbished
Why
it?
was it rubbished?
Who rubbished it?
It was rubbished because opposition.
Thank you.
Opposition. It was rubbished because from the onset, how it was said it would be done wasn't followed. And it got to a certain point where the 10% came in and made it difficult for people to trust that this is what we were doing. Even those projects that we were looking at didn't, in a way, stop capital flight. So look at areas like the poultry industry, where there's capital flight. Areas like sugar, capital flight. Areas like jute sack, capital flight. Shouldn't it have started from that point, where you say, okay, we are doing one district, one factory. However, we are starting with poultry because we import a lot of poultry, a lot of money is going out, and then pick up the poultry industry. Cocoa. What do we pack cocoa in? Jute sacks. We are buying it from Bangladesh. We are spending X amount of money. We can grow the jute here and do our own. Start from there. Take certain commodities.
The reason, you see, I guess the only difference I'm having with you on these issues is that it's not like what you're talking about we don't know.
So why aren't we doing it?
That's the question. It's the corruption. It's the greed. It's the politics.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yes, and it
unless
has
we
to
change
stop.
that,
we have to change it. We have to. But
that's-
it's endemic. And let me give you an example of something I heard 2 days ago that confirmed to me that that kind of attitude is in the Ghanaian. Makola market. They have started reducting expiry dates on commodities. Either use, what do you call it, to wipe the date off so that they can sell expired commodities.
goods. Yeah.
Who thinks that way?
Yeah.
And you forget that the cocoa seller in Makola market is going to buy this particular expired
product, whatever it is.
There's a milk powder to put in the cocoa, and a child is going to eat it, and it's going to affect. So how do you change that mindset?
Yes.
That is what needs to be
I
changed.
agree with you.
So you see, it's not only the leadership, but it is us too.
I agree with you 100%. Just before, so I don't forget, I'm talking to this farmer who was like so elated. He said, "Oh, right now, Mahama is ordering the schools buy local made rice."
Yes.
And he was so elated.
Yes.
But you know what he said? It's the case of doing my biggest worry is Ghanaians will still buy the imported rice, buy bags made in Ghana bags and put them in,
So make it-
they can sell it as Ghana made rice, but it's imported.
So
I'm agreeing with you.
Make Ghana-
There's something in the DNA of the Ghanaian that is working against us.
Yes.
And-
Look. When they say Ghanaians are hospitable people, they are good people. They are good to foreigners, but not to ourselves.
Yeah. No, but this is something that I say. That
So
people
I'm
think,
pointing a finger at you. 1, 2, 3. It's pointing back at me.
Masa, who is our number one folk hero? Kwekwanasi. Kwekwanasi is a 419. I'm sorry.
Yes.
But it's a folk hero. So for me, it tells the kind of people we are.
Yes.
If we can worship Kwekwanasi and glorify him, let's say, really deep inside.
But don't.
But at the same time, so we have some amazing things that is coming from us. So where is that, if you will, leadership that will point us and that will just sort of pick the goodness and grow that and kill the evilness?
Yes, we need that. That is what we need.
You know,
that is what
churches would have been fantastic to do this, but they are the ones now actually picking the corrupt, the filth, and boosting them. Because it doesn't matter how you make your money. If you pay your tithe, you have a.
When I came in,
so basically,
when I came in, what did I ask your film guy?
My film guy.
Yes, the guy who's. What did I ask him?
You ask him what is the most important
thing to him. What would he say? Money. In our time, it was capacity. It's capacity. Somebody will ask you, they come into school now. They won't ask you, "Sika be now pay, sika say now pay," which is today. That is how we look at things, and that mindset has to change. It is up here, needs to change. A lot of foreigners come in here. They have personal interest and no personal friends. We too should have personal interest and no personal friends for our country. Look, I've lived in other countries. There's no place as nice as Ghana. Today, I won't live anywhere but Ghana. Everything is here. You know, and when you look at the Ghanaian, we are relaxed. You see G&E, Christmas is coming. See, people don't have money, but they will make sure they G&E. It's just that bit we talked about. That bit that doesn't make us love country more. We need to love country more. When you read the Young Pioneer Code, it is a typical example of what can straighten this country. But we turn it into politics.
Everything is politics.
We need to change
it's not
that.
Politics. I'm not worried about politics.
We need to change it. It's politicized. Yes.
The partisan is what.
It's not even the partisan alone. The politicization of it.
Yeah,
of
but
everything.
Yes.
And this here about it has to change. It has to. It has to start from somewhere. And for me, it starts from the schools. That's where it starts from. That system, education system we have, needs to go through strong interrogation.
But
it needs to be applied properly.
It will all end up with the leadership.
It's a leadership thing.
And I am hopeful, because I keep saying this, that even the idea to think that this country and this needs some kind of resetting of our minds is a good beginning. Now let's build on that. No matter what party, I don't give a hoot about any party. It's the right thing to do. So let's build on it.
Let's build on the right things to do. Yes.
I agree with you. 100%.
Do it collectively. Do it collectively. Once upon a time, you go and mess up. Somebody who knows you will beat you and bring you home and tell your father. Your father will beat you in front of that person. That's happened today. No way. You won't even try. You won't even try. And that was a collective system we had to check children. So I want a should, you want a hope. So let me go by your hope. Hopefully, with what President Mahama is trying to do, will be that stepping stone. That will change things. If it even so happens that another political party comes into power after him, they would continue.
That's exactly. We are on the same. We are on the same page.
Continue.
The foundation.
The foundation. If you build a house on a weak foundation, the house will crack and crumble. If you build it on a strong foundation, it lives for years. Go to Kumasi, go to Ashtown, see some of the houses that were built before we were born. They still stand today. And so that foundation is important for us to realign this country. President Mahama should come again and actually go deep down, now he's there, to clarify the resetting agenda. Clarify it better for people to understand and for people to see the worth of it.
Yeah.
Because something needs to happen to change it. Look, Kwaku, very soon, you and I will be in our bedrooms, not being able to do anything, not being able to go anywhere. And we'll ask ourselves, did we do enough to get this country back to where it is? We might say yes, we might say no, but this is the time. We are still alive. We can talk, we can breathe, we are doing things. Let's make sure that it changes. Maybe the system in which we tend to elect our different leaders, we should question it more. So somebody says he wants to become a president. Why do you want to become a president? Explain to us why. And if you're not satisfied with what the person says, don't vote them into power.
Yeah, we will eventually get there.
When?
We will eventually get there.
We are getting to a point where we need to do that.
When
is eventual?
That somebody coming from your same area does not qualify them to be president. Say, me enkrani, me chini, me ever. That can be a qualification in Ghana.
Yeah, but
and people vote based on that.
Yeah, but
so when we cross that bridge and we start thinking and looking at competence, I think it will get to the point where, for me, it doesn't matter whether the president and the vice are all gas.
Yes,
and the president and the vice are all not.
Yes, it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter that regional president.
Yes.
When we know that they are competent enough to do what they need to do, let them do
they
it.
won't discriminate against each other.
Meanwhile, Charlie, I just wanted to say this before I get off the air. Have you been to Cactus Creek? You have to come to Cactus Creek.
I've heard about it, but
you have to come.
I'll come.
Especially to those of you listening, on the 25th, 26th, and 27th, I am performing. December.
Wow.
Get the title of the show. Old age is a rascal.
Did you come out? I'm in the PENDREAM TV. Now, so far, so good. Say, open online portal, Ghana. Nipa share, Nipa follow, Nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.